Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Lynch Paints, where I, Lynch, will be showing you all how to paint R2-D2 and C3PO. So let's grab our paints and paintbrushes and let's jump straight into it. And of course, before we jump straight into painting these wonderful miniatures, we're going to need a series of paints, and these are the ones I used in this video today, alongside which we will need a medium-sized brush, another sort of fluffy medium-sized brush for dry brushing, and a teeny tiny brush for those teeny tiny places. So in this double video we are going to be starting out with painting C3PO black, and R2-D2 we're going to prime him in a white. So we're going to start out with R2-D2 first, so we're going to grab our lovely apostrophe white, and then with a medium-sized brush we're just going to give him a nice generous coat over his white armor panels. So while the apostrophe white is drying, we're going to go and look at C3PO. So I'm just going to grab some of this brass scorpion, which is a slightly sort of darker gold. So we're going to start out with that first, and we're going to use a heavy dry brush. So grab yourself a nice medium brush, and we are going to wipe the majority off just onto a bit of tissue, and we're just going to carefully maybe wipe a little bit more off. Just apply this gold just over his armor plates. Don't work it in too well, because obviously we want some of the recesses to still stand out. If for whatever reason you end up being a little bit too heavy with it, or that there's perhaps a bit too much gold on it, then what you can do is just carry on and then just apply a black or dark brown wash over the top, and then that will just go back into the recesses and it will give you a very similar effect to this. So the first layer of gold has been applied. We're then going to go over to this retribution armor using the same size brush as before, and we're going to dry brush again. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, just paint the entire model of C3PO in a gold and then just use washes, or just paint him gold and just kind of leave it as is, but I quite like this slightly sort of darker gold. It's not so rich and in your face with it. I like to sort of play around with making it a little bit darker, plus as well it will contrast really nicely with the snowy Hoth base as well. And if it's doing this, it's perhaps too dark for your liking, just add more retribution armor over the miniature, and then you could perhaps highlight it with a little bit of chainmail, perhaps a little bit of silver, just to make it pop a little bit more. I quite like the slightly darker gold effect that this is providing. So carrying on with using these metallic paints, what I'm going to do now is that the contrast paint is nice and dry on R2. I'm going to take some of this silver, some of this Iron Warriors, and I'm just going to paint his dome on the top, just in this nice dark silver colour, and then afterwards I'll probably go back over it with a lighter silver just to sort of highlight it a little bit, and then maybe give it a wash as well, just to help it, just to bring out the detail in the recesses. So before I add on the wash onto this dome, I'm just going to apply the blue. So we're going to grab a little bit of this Cantor blue. I'll pop you over there. Some of this Cantor blue, and then I'll mix in a little bit of this Lothran blue into the mixture as well. So for this we're going to need a finer detail brush, gonna just wet it first, grab some of this lovely blue, and we're going to do his armor panels. So I've just gone back over the blue and I've mixed in a little bit of the Lothram blue just to make it slightly brighter. And it's not too bad at all. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to grab a black wash. So I'm going to take some of this null oil and I'm just going to thin it down a little bit with some water. And then we're going to carefully just go in and pick out all the little recesses on the armor panels. So that's pretty much the model, very nearly finished. We're just going to do a couple of little details. So I'm going to grab some of this red and I'm just going to pick out just a couple of little areas, just referencing one of the art pieces for R2-D2. And he's got a little red light just set in here. So just thinned it down just with a little water just to help it just to sink into that little recess there. And then I'm just going to grab some black, where I've put that. And then we're just going to do his lens. Just like that, just black. I will just mix in just a little bit of red, just to make it stand out just a tiny bit. And I'll pop it underneath. Maybe mix a little bit more in as well. Just into the middle. And then I'll add in just a tiny bit of a light grey. Just into the middle, and this just will just act as a sort of source of reflection. I'm just going to pop it about there in the middle, and on top of that I'm going to grab a bit of white. So he's about ready for basing, and with C3PO I went over just a couple of little cables at the bottom there, so just kind of went over with the red, with the blue that I used earlier for on R2-D2, and then just a bit of light silver just in there just to pick out some cable work. So these two are pretty much ready, so nice and easy and simple. They look fantastic. I'm just going to do their bases and then I'll be back with the final result. And so this is how I went about painting the dynamic duo themselves, R2-D2 and C3PO for Star Wars Legion. I really hope that you all enjoyed watching this video along at home, on the train, bus, wherever you are watching in the world. If you're new, a like and subscribe would be massively appreciated. If you want to pick up some of these models for yourselves, then I do have a link for Wayland Games in the description down below. They're a UK based retailer and they stock loads and loads of amazing board games and card games, all kind of wonderful nerdy stuff. So whenever you make a purchase through the link, a little bit goes towards me and helps to support the channel just a little bit. Helps me to sort of acquire more projects and create more videos for everyone to enjoy at home and wherever you guys tend to watch my videos. There will be stills and reels of these miniatures over at my Instagram page at Lynch Paints as well, so do check me out over there. Give me a little follow. I'm nearly at 7,000, which is a huge milestone for me. I never thought I'd ever get that far, so any help towards that goal would be absolutely amazing. And we'll be doing a giveaway over there once I reach 7,000 followers. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. I'm not quite sure when that's going to happen. Hopefully by the end of the month would be amazing. And yeah, I'll probably put a little post onto YouTube, so then you chaps and chapesses can see what my giveaway is as a thank you to everybody. So after all of that, thank you ever so much for watching. Stay safe, stay beautiful, and we'll see you all next time.